Keto can be an absolutely fantastic weight loss tool, but is it safe to breastfeed and follow a keto lifestyle at the same time? And if so, how do you go about doing that? In this video, I'm going to share my experience with following a keto lifestyle and breastfeeding my twins, Revi and Rue. Hi and welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name's Elle, and as I said in my intro, I have 4-month-old twins, Revi and Rue. For the last 4 months, I have been breastfeeding both babies. If you're interested in my breastfeeding journey, then I'll leave my breastfeeding vlog linked to this video. I'll leave it in the cards above and the description box below. In that video, I share how I went about increasing my milk supply and also breastfeeding twins with a boob job. Our twins are not exclusively breastfed, but it was really important to me to give breastfeeding a go and to do it for as long as possible. Before I was pregnant, I followed a keto lifestyle, and then when I found out that I was pregnant, I transitioned out of keto. Not so much transition probably, definitely my appetite changed overnight, and pretty much all I could survive on was boiled potatoes and Sprite. Since the babies were born, I have been following a low carb lifestyle, and when the time was right, I looked forward to transitioning back into keto, and I'm really excited to say that the time is right now. If you're curious about the kinds of things that I ate while following a low carb lifestyle, then make sure you check out my ultimate guide to low carb video. I'll leave that one linked to this one as well. Low carb is a really great option if you're breastfeeding and if you're wanting to make some changes to your diet, but not do anything too different because you might be worried about your milk supply. Keeping my milk supply up is still my #1 priority, but I'm also looking forward to shedding some of the extra weight that I have gained during my pregnancy as well. And that's why I know that the time is right for me to start my transition back to keto. Talking about weight loss and breastfeeding and being postpartum, that can be such a controversial thing to say, and I honestly don't know why it's so controversial. I have never been a believer in overnight weight loss. If you watch my old YouTube videos and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that time and time again, I talk about how important it is to approach weight loss in a slow and steady manner. Slow and steady wins the race. It's not about finding an overnight quick fix that you think will get you to your results. I definitely don't believe in deprivation. I don't think you should starve yourself or the process should be difficult or hard to follow and stick with. Whatever you do, it's so important that it is sustainable and enjoyable so that you stay consistent with it, because ultimately it's consistency that leads to results. And if it's something that you can stay consistent with, then it's most likely something that's enjoyable for you, and the process should be enjoyable. But let's rewind a minute. Why is weight loss after pregnancy so controversial? I honestly don't know. I completely agree that there are some really unrealistic and unattainable messages out there talking about having to bounce back after pregnancy. It's something that we see time and time again in the media with celebrities doing that. This puts a lot of pressure on people like you and me. I personally don't believe in bouncing back. I have no intention to bounce back because I don't need to bounce back. My body has forever changed since carrying Revi and Rue, and I am so proud and so grateful of my body for doing what it did to bring our babies here safely. I now have stretch marks, loose skin, and I have separated abs. But I love my new body so much, and I am so proud of my body for what it achieved. Part of the changes that my body went through meant that it held more weight. My highest weight during pregnancy was recorded at 110 kilos. I honestly stopped weighing myself past that point because I didn't want to get into my head too much. I just wanted to focus on being healthy and happy for my babies. But after I saw that weight, I continued to get weighed in and my weight continued to increase. I gained so much weight in my pregnancy that honestly, my obstetrician, my midwife, my doctor, they were all worried about me and thought that I had gestational diabetes perhaps. But I didn't have gestational diabetes. I was just carrying a lot more weight than I did pre-pregnancy. Pre-pregnancy, my lowest weight was around 68 kilos. After my husband and I went through 2 pregnancy losses, my weight did increase and I was sitting at between 72 and 75 kilos when I fell pregnant with Revy and Rue. Currently, I am 10 kilos heavier than this pre-pregnancy weight. I'm only sharing the numbers not because I want you to compare yourself with me. Please don't compare yourself with me. Everyone's body is so different. I'm just trying to illustrate the amount of weight that I gained and what it is that I'm looking to lose over time to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight. And why I want to do that, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I can feel the extra weight in my body. I am constantly having to be on the floor with my twins, picking them up, moving them around, and it is so hard some days to move around with the extra weight that I am carrying, as well as holding 2 growing babies. It is so hard and so tiring for me some days getting up off the floor and moving around. I feel the extra weight in my joints and I just want to feel more mobile, more energetic, and kind of just have a bit of my spark back again. I really don't want to feel like a 90-year-old in my body, which is what I feel like right now. I know that part of the reason I feel so sore and so tired is that I'm still recovering from my C-section. I am currently seeing a women's health physio, someone who specializes in that area, just so that I can have some help and some assistance with my recovery. And I have discussed all of this with her, especially the aches and pains that I feel moving around. She agrees that the extra weight is definitely making my job harder moving around, and that over time, as that does drop off, I will just feel better and better. Please don't misinterpret me that because I shared that I would like to lose some weight, that in some way I am not grateful and not appreciative of my body, or that I think that I need to change it. I am not in a rush to lose this weight. This is something that I want to do slowly, sustainably, to get back to feeling more like myself again, and also just to feel like moving around is going to be so much easier. If losing weight quickly was really important to me, then I would have just gone on some crazy low-calorie diet, and no doubt my breastfeeding days would have been over a long time ago because my breast milk would have dried up. But that is not important to me in the slightest. Instead, it is really important to me, as I said at the start of this video, to continue to breastfeed the twins for as long as possible and for as long as it works for all of us. So losing the weight is something that I really want to do in a slow and steady manner. To be able to continue breastfeeding for as long as possible, I know that it's really important that I continue to nourish my body. So my top priorities in returning to a keto lifestyle are: number 1, to make sure that I am getting enough water every day. Hydration is so important, especially when you're breastfeeding. Number 2 is really important to make sure that I'm having the right amount of calories for me. And that is calories to continue to breastfeed, and also the right amount of calories that I'm able to lose a small amount of weight consistently, steadily, sustainably. And number 3 is making sure that I have enough electrolytes every day. So my return back to keto while breastfeeding is going to mean that I'm going to eat a higher calorie diet. And this means that my weight loss is not going to be rapid, which is exactly what I want to be able to continue with my milk supply. A lot of people have this misconception that a keto diet automatically means that you're going to lose weight overnight, but that's not necessarily the case, and in my opinion, I think it's a lot better to take the slow and steady approach anyways. If you aren't breastfeeding, then yes, your weight loss on keto can be quicker, but I truly believe that it should be done in a sustainable way. And that's why I created Welle Club, my healthy lifestyle and recipe app. If you're interested in starting your own health and wellness journey, then I'll leave a link to Welle Club in the description box below. We have a macro calculator, complete recipe collection, so many tools to make the process really easy and fun and enjoyable for you. So to start your 7-day free trial, just click the link in the description box below. But for me, I want my return to keto to mean that I can lose this weight slowly over a year. And a return to a keto diet is definitely going to help with that, because it's also an anti-inflammatory diet. And that's because you're cutting out foods that are known to cause inflammation in the body, like wheat, processed carbs, processed sugars. And I know that I feel my best while following a keto lifestyle. If you're interested in following a keto lifestyle while breastfeeding, then I hope that you find this video helpful. Remember to always check in with your doctor or trusted medical professional before you make any major lifestyle changes, especially while breastfeeding. And remember that there is no rush to lose any pregnancy weight if that's also a goal for you. Take things slowly, listen to your body, experiment and have fun. Remember that there is no one-size-fits-all approach. While I was pregnant, my focus was all about protein, and so I focused on eating foods that were high in protein. I also didn't hold back from eating anything, so I had everything imaginable during pregnancy. Candy, potato chips, McDonald's, takeaways, you name it, I ate it. I did still try to exercise in moderation while eating those foods because of my weight gain during pregnancy and also the concern that I was going to develop gestational diabetes. But if I had a craving, I honored it and I went with it. After the twins were born and we brought them home, we were honestly in major survival mode. We ate prepared meals that friends and family brought for us, and a lot of it was just refined carbs and processed sugars. And I would spend nights just constantly awake, cluster feeding both of the babies, and I would do that with normally a bag of candy beside me. Once I got through that initial really tough period, I then decided to make my transition back into low carb. So if you are watching this video and your babies are brand new, please give yourself some time just to adjust. Don't worry about this stuff, just take it day by day, surviving with your babies, and sometime later, when you feel like the time is right, you can always then look at the foods that you're eating and tidy anything up that you'd like. In this video, I'm not going to go into the specifics about how to start a keto diet because I have all of that planned for another separate video. But one thing that a lot of people tend to focus on when they do start a keto diet is getting into a metabolic state known as ketosis. I am not focused on being in ketosis. And if I do get into ketosis, I want my levels of ketosis to be very small. And that is why I'm going to be tracking my ketones very carefully. I explained on my Instagram that I am first going to track my ketones using the urine strips. These you can buy from the pharmacy. They're really inexpensive and very easy to use, but over time they are a really inaccurate way to measure your ketones. So only use these at the very beginning of your keto journey, or if you've had a big break away from keto like I have. And then I'm going to move into using a blood ketone meter. These are the most accurate ways to track your levels of ketosis and what ketones are in your bloodstream, and that will help me know where I'm sitting every day. The reason I'm using both methods is that I want to share how I go about tracking my ketones and what options are available to other people out there. I personally don't believe that it's necessary for most people to track their ketones, but if you are breastfeeding, then it is quite important just to know where you're sitting so that you can find what the right balance is like for you. The reason why you don't want your ketone levels to be too high is because this can lead to something quite serious known as diabetic ketoacidosis. This is a serious complication where the body produces excess ketones. Symptoms of this can include thirst, frequent urination, nausea, abdominal pain, weakness, and confusion. You may also need hospital treatment to help with replenishing electrolytes and lost fluids. When you are breastfeeding, you are at a higher risk of developing this. And because I'm breastfeeding 2 babies, that also increases my risk even more. So to make sure that I am maintaining a safe, low level of ketosis, because a low level of ketosis is safe, I will make sure that I am tracking my ketones. And I will share in future vlogs exactly how I'm going about doing that. In a traditional keto diet, people try to maintain around about 20 grams of net carbs a day. But because I'm breastfeeding, I am going to be aiming for 50 grams of net carbs a day. And this might not sound like it is keto, but trust me, because of the additional tax that is on your body because of the breastfeeding, starting at 50 grams of net carbs or even higher is what you should do. Definitely do not jump in and go for 20 grams of net carbs a day, because this will cause all kinds of problems and could really impact your milk supply. So a slow and steady approach into keto is a really good one to take. In future videos, I will show more of the foods that I'm eating, but here's just a rundown of what my day while following keto and breastfeeding my twins looks like. Breakfast is around 10 grams of net carbs. Lunch is around 10 grams of net carbs. Dinner is around about 15 grams of net carbs. My snacks are between 5 to 10 grams of net carbs, and this can be broken up into one snack or smaller snacks throughout the day. And also dessert is about 5 grams of net carbs too. I always have dessert. I have to end my night on a sweet note. So for breakfast, I have something like a decaf coffee with cream and an egg wrap, a low carb wrap with egg, cheese, and onion. This is really good with a little bit of hot sauce on top. For lunch, I have a beef bolognese bowl. This is made without the pasta, but it's loaded with lots of healthy veggies that are full of fiber. For snacks, I have things like nuts, fresh veggies, and dips. And for dinner, I have a loaded chicken veggie stir fry. Dessert is one of my favorite desserts. It's with berries and cream, drizzled with chocolate. I have made it before in previous videos, but it's so yummy and easy to put together. And I finished the night with our Lights Out Latte from Well Essentials, which is my brand. It's a magnesium drink that has zinc for added immunity. I have this with barista milk, and it's the perfect way to end my night. I also make sure that throughout the day I take my milk supplements. These are things that just help me with keeping my milk supply up and sustaining it. You might be surprised to see things like fruit, carrots, hummus, low carb wraps, all within a keto eating plan. But remember that so many foods are actually really keto friendly, and to follow a keto lifestyle, it's not about having no carbs. It's just a reduced carb diet. It's all about eating the right amount of these foods to meet your nutritional need. Once I do stop breastfeeding in the future, I will transition and lower my net carbs over time, and I will definitely bring you along for that process as well. But in this video, I hope that it was helpful to see an overview about keto, breastfeeding, what it is that I plan to do, and I can't wait to share the process with you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up because the support means the world to me, and make sure you hit subscribe if you're new here because I upload new videos every single week on a Tuesday and a Saturday. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!